Hey guys, how are you all doing? Welcome to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Naruto made Android 18 his girlfriend? Part 2, subscribe if you enjoy the video, let's start the story. The two powerhouses stood there with their auras blazing furiously as they stared down their respective opponents. The androids remained unfazed by their opponent's display of power. I don't want them getting in our way. Stated 18 before flying off a short distance away. Too bad, now I won't be there to bail you out after I'm done with this nuisance. Mocked Vegeta. After this is all over, I'm going to beat the living daylights out of you. Retorted Naruto as he flew after her. You want to have a go after them? Fine by me, don't come whining for a rematch after you lose. Shouted Vegeta to his retreating form. Now android, are you prepared to face the greatest power in the universe? 17 sweat dropped, this guy is so full of himself. Vegeta charged at 17 and unleashed a furious assault of punches and kicks, putting the android on the defensive. After 17 blocked a powerful kick, Vegeta exploited an opening and landed a punch that knocked the android back. Vegeta then reappeared above him and landed a double axe handle that sent 17 crashing into the ground, creating a small crater. He followed that with a volley of rapid-fire energy blasts. After the smoke cleared, 17 rose from the crater with his clothes a little torn, but no worse for wear. Vegeta's strength is far beyond my expectations. Can he actually beat me? Not a chance. Thought a smirking 17. What's the matter? Did you short a circuit? That's too bad because I'm just getting started. Gloated Vegeta. Well, then small fry, bring it on. Replied 17 with a beckoning motion as Vegeta charged in once again. The pair of blondes landed in a rocky clearing a short ways away on the side of the mountain. The pair stared down at each other, Naruto with a cocky grin and 18 with a nonchalant expression. Naruto increased his power level and eased into his demon form. Well, aren't you the tough guy? What are you supposed to be? Some kind of half-man, half-beast. She taunted. No, half-ninja, he responded before suddenly vanishing and reappearing right in front of her. Half-demon. He struck with a quick punch and roundhouse kick and then followed with a double axe handle only to be stopped by an elbow to the gut. He suddenly vanished and reappeared behind her, launching a kick from her blind spot. She turned at the last second and grabbed his leg and spun and threw him. Naruto caught himself in midair as 18 charged after him, throwing a punch which passed right through an afterimage. She then gracefully dodged a kick from above her and landed a punch to Naruto's head that sent him flying. He caught himself in midair again before he could smash into the side of the mountain. She puts the old hag's super strength to shame. If she wasn't supposed to be some sort of killing machine, I'd totally take her out for some ramen. Who am I kidding? I still might. Thought Naruto as he rubbed the spot where he was hit. You've had that stupid grin on your face the entire fight. What is going on in that thick skull of yours? Questioned 18 as Naruto suddenly got a glazed look in his eye. On second thought, maybe I don't want to know. I better stop playing around. It's time to kick this up a notch. Declared Naruto as he made his trademark hand sign. Taj Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Mass Shadow Clone Technique. After the smoke from the technique cleared, 18 was stunned to find herself surrounded by 2,000 Narutos. Alright. Sorry to keep you waiting, but the real fight begins right here. Yelled all the Narutos. 18 was immediately on the defensive as she was swarmed by a group of the clones launching attacks from every different angle. Somehow she managed to dodge or block every attack until she found an opening and began a counter-assault, destroying clones left and right. After getting annoyed at how tedious it was becoming, she released a massive wave of energy around her and destroyed all the clones. As the smoke dissipated, she scanned around to find him nowhere to be seen. She looked up to see a spark of light high in the sky and then realized it was Naruto heading right for her at high speed. She braced herself for his assault only to realize that he was picking up speed and had no intention of slowing down. Death strike of the heavens. He roared as he collided with her and exploded. A massive crater was created and suddenly a rock at the edge of the crater revealed itself to be Naruto. Let's see how she liked that one. Stated Naruto with a smirk. The smoke at the bottom soon cleared to reveal an unharmed 18 with rips in her clothing, surrounded by an energy shield. This sucks, now I have to get new clothes. Complained 18 before shrugging and discarding her tattered jacket. Well, it's not like those were that great either. I packed a ton of power into that clone. And she's worried about her clothes. What the hell are these guys made of and where can I get some? Thought Naruto. You're a tricky one, aren't you? Too bad your organics will eventually tire out while mine stay strong. Asserted 18. Don't worry, I've got stamina and spades, we can keep this going all day. Retorted Naruto. Oh, really? She replied before suddenly reappearing in front of him an inch from his face. She stroked his face sensually before continuing, perhaps we should test that out somewhere more. Private. Naruto blushed bright red as she suddenly breathed into his ear. Really? He stammered, barely keeping himself together. Maybe she lingered on before suddenly nailing him in the face with a punch that sent him tumbling across the battlefield. That was so not fair. He whined while scrambling to his feet. You have your tricks, I have mine. She replied with a smirk. Touché. He replied before charging after her. Soon their thunderous blows could be heard echoing throughout the area. As 17 and Vegeta were in the thick of their battle, the rest of the Z fighters arrived on the scene. 16 tossed them a brief glance before going back to observing the fight. Looks like we're too late to stop either of them. I can sense Naruto's battle a short way away from here, said Tien. Well, let's see what they can do, stated Piccolo. Maybe I underestimated his power, my father's actually holding his own against 17. Could he actually win? Thought Trunks as he observed the fight. Suddenly Vegeta connected with a vicious 3-punch combo that slammed 17 into the ground hard. I don't know what you're so worried about, Trunks, just look at him go. He's unstoppable, said Krillin. Maybe, replied Trunks. Looks like we have some company. What's this, Vegeta calling in for reinforcements? Taunted 17. They're just here to watch. I don't need help from anyone. I'm a Saiyan elite who became a Super Saiyan. No power compares to mine. Very few people are willing to work as hard as I have to gain such power, and I will not be denied my rightful place as the greatest warrior in the universe, proclaimed Vegeta. Too bad you had to work so hard to gain so little, mocked 17. Yes, too bad. Yelled Vegeta as he blitzed 17. On second thought, maybe the android knocked a few brain cells loose because that last comeback line was just pathetic. Deadpanned Krillin. After the two began exchanging blows once again, it became clear that the tables had now turned, with Vegeta barely able to keep up. 17 shrugged off his blows like they were nothing, but most of the time Vegeta was barely able to touch him. This isn't working, yelled Gohan. He's waiting for Vegeta to burn through his energy before retaliating. He's right, with every move Vegeta loses power while the android stays strong, added Piccolo. Father, you've got to stop this. Let us help you, pleaded Trunks. Vegeta rose from the ground after taking a vicious blow from 17. Silence, boy. I don't want your help. A true warrior fights alone, gasped Vegeta. 17 turned to face them before speaking. You really don't get it. It wouldn't matter if you all ganged up on me at once. You stand no chance. We androids are now the superior. Hey, android. 17 turned to look at Vegeta only to be nailed with a blast of energy. Never turn your back on Vegeta, especially now that I'm a Super Saiyan. You never know what kind of surprise I have in store for you. Now feel the power of a true Super Saiyan, yelled Vegeta as he launched another massive energy blast at the android. The smoke cleared to reveal 17 standing there with his hand outstretched in front of him, smoking with a smirk on his face. So, it's going to be that kind of fight. Well then, I have a few tricks up my sleeve as well. 17 pointed his index finger at Vegeta and fired a narrow energy beam right through his left shoulder. Screamed Vegeta in pain, grasping his arm. What's the matter? Not enjoying my little surprise? 17 quickly appeared behind the Saiyan and kicked him in the back, sending him face down into the ground. He proceeds to stomp on his injured shoulder, enjoying the Saiyan prince's screams of pain. I'm only doing this for your own good, teaching you some humility. For the prince of about 3 people, you have way too much arrogance, mocked 17 as Vegeta soon lost his golden glow and his hair turned back to black. Seeing his father now lose the ability to fight, Trunks could no longer hold himself back. No. Father, yelled Trunks as he transformed and blasted off right toward 17 and brought his sword around, aiming for the android's head. Without even looking at him, 17 moved his arm up to block the attack, shattering the blade in the process. How? Stammered Trunks in shock at his broken blade. I told you not to interfere. I guess I can't play around anymore if this is going to be that kind of fight, he responded before suddenly reappearing inside Trunks' guard and kneeing him in the gut. The Super Saiyan from the future doubled over in pain before dropping his transformation and falling to the ground unconscious. You were no fun, Vegeta lasted much longer, commented a disappointed 17. Well, that, and I'm using more power. Tien and Piccolo joined the fray, appearing on both sides of 17. Tien aimed a punch that 17 dodged effortlessly before backhanding him into the side of the mountain nonchalantly. Piccolo launched a kick at the android's face only for 17 to block and land a punch in his gut that doubled the Green Warrior over. 17 then grabs him by the throat and begins to choke him. What's it gonna take for you weaklings to learn? You don't stand a chance, mocked 17 while squeezing down harder on his throat. Piccolo brought his hands up to try and free himself, but he could not break the android's grip. No, Piccolo, exclaimed Gohan. I can't let this happen. It's just like with Frieza. I won't sit back and watch my friends die again. That's enough, roared Gohan with his power spiking. Oh? And what are you going to do about it, kid? Gloated 17, squeezing even harder on Piccolo's neck. Namek's hands fell to his side as he began to lose consciousness. "Leave my friends alone," roared Gohan as his power exploded and he transformed into a Super Saiyan. Before 17 could even react, Gohan was upon him, delivering a haymaker that sent the android flying into the side of the mountain. Gohan stammered, Piccolo in awe of his pupil. "You're incredible, Gohan. You've become a Super Saiyan," yelled Krillin from below. "Stand back, you guys. This fight is mine from here on out. Get these guys some beans," ordered Gohan before he streaked off after Android 17. "Where the hell did that come from?" said 17 as he removed himself from the side of the mountain he landed in. That kid exploded with more power than the others. His musings were stopped when Gohan appeared in front of him. "That was a nice shot, kid, but what makes you think you can take me head on now that you've got my full attention?" stated 17. Gohan just stared him down defiantly. "Nothing to say. Well, after I'm through with you and your friends. Your dad is next." This proved to be the wrong thing to say as Gohan suddenly exploded with power. "Not on my watch," roared Gohan as he charged and landed a kick to the side of 17's head. He followed by landing a left cross and then began to pound away at the android's gut. He then landed an uppercut, knocking 17 backwards and proceeded to stomp on the android's chest in midair before a strong kick sent 17 towards the ground. "Looking at him, I can't believe it," uttered the now revived Trunks. "This boy has far more power than I could have ever imagined," observed 16. Gohan whispered to Piccolo in awe. 17 caught himself in midair only to stare at Gohan in shock as his furious assault continued. "Masenko." Gohan fired the blast, which 17 blocked by crossing his arms in front of him. Gohan reappears right in front of the android and hits him in the face with an energy blast at point-blank range. 17 crashed into the ground, forming a crater. Roared Gohan as he unleashed blast after blast of energy down at the android, not letting up in his assault. "This boy, his power is still growing," thought a shocked 16. Gohan halted in his energy blast assault, bringing his hands back to the side for a finishing move. Kamehameha. The wave tore through the air at 17 and triggered a massive explosion. "Oh man. Gohan really put the whooping on that guy. No messing around, just took it right to him," said Krillin, bringing his arm up to shield himself from the explosion debris. "Yeah, but was it enough?" muttered Piccolo as he observed the heavily breathing Gohan. He went for the finishing blow right away. That plus the transformation cost a lot of energy. The debris from the explosion soon cleared to reveal 17 surrounded by an energy shield. "Nice moves, kid, but did you really expect that to finish me?" questioned 17. "Not even a scratch," thought Gohan. Gohan put everything he had into that assault and it didn't even faze him, uttered a freaked out Krillin. 17 rushed Gohan, putting him on the defensive, barely blocking the android's furious assault. 17 eventually broke through his guard and landed a blow that sent the newest Super Saiyan flying. "Come on, what happened to all the power you had a minute ago?" mocked 17. "Damn it. How powerful are these things?" screamed Piccolo in frustration. Gohan staggered to his feet, leveling a glare at 17, he charged and aimed a hard kick to the android's face. 17 leaned to the side to dodge before spinning and landing a kick of his own to Gohan's head that knocked him out cold. "Now you know you have no chance against us. I'll leave you to stew in your defeat. Let's go 16, 18 should be done by now," ordered 17 as the large android joined him before they flew off to where they sensed the other battle. 18 had decided to kick it up a notch in their fight. Naruto managed to keep himself in the fight with her increase in strength and speed by lacing the surrounding area with clones and using substitution to avoid critical damage. That was until he accidentally grabbed her breast while trying to throw her. "Why don't you stop dodging and take your punishment like a man?" roared 18. "I'm not that stupid. I'm telling you it was an accident," replied Naruto, dodging an energy blast. "Really?" She stopped and questioned, causing him to pause. "Yeah. I was trying." He suddenly doubled over in pain, grabbing himself from where she just kneed him in the groin. "That was a cheap shot," he gasped. "You touched mine, I touched yours. Now we're even," she replied with a smirk. She then picked him up by the shirt and flung him into the side of the mountain before blasting him with an energy blast, burying him under tons of rumble. "Well, aren't you having fun?" a voice rang out. She looked up to see 17 and 16 floating above her. "Took you long enough," she responded. "Took me long enough yet, your fight was still going on," he retorted. "Whatever. Are we done here?" she asked while floating towards him. "Yeah, let's go find us a car," he replied. They stopped in their tracks when they felt a power from below them. They looked down to see the ground shake before bursting apart and Naruto emerging from within. "Where do you think you're going, huh? I'm not as easy as those other guys. Our fight isn't finished at all," he exclaimed. "Look at you. You hardly look like you can continue," replied 17. Naruto's shirt had been torn off and his upper body was littered with bruises and deep cuts. "Oh, this isn't going to be a problem. Just watch," stated Naruto, flaring his power. His red energy healed away all his bruises and cuts and his energy level returned to full strength. 17 stared in awe while 18 gave the shirtless warrior an appraising eye. This fighter is now restored back to 100% of his capacity. "I have no knowledge of such a technique in my database," stated 16. "Neither do we, I must say for a flesh and blood type he's not bad," commented 16. "He should be tired out by now, yet he's back to full power. Interestingly, his stamina is nearly as good as ours," added 17. "We have no records of you at all from Dr. Jiro." "Who are you?" asked 17. "I would like to know what you are as well. Your energy signature is far different from the other beings on this planet," stated 16. "He claims to be a half-demon," supplied 18. "Demon? Come on now, that is just ridiculous," said 17 dismissively. "You, an android built to kill an alien, are questioning the fact that I can be part demon. Are you serious?" questioned Naruto. "Well, then what's a demon doing hanging around that band of idiots? Shouldn't you be out stealing people's souls or something?" taunted 17. "For the record, I was born something similar to the humans of this planet. Various circumstances caused me to become like this. I have a question for you though, what is the point of all of this? I know you're not following Jiro's orders. And you have no grudge against Goku, you've never even met the guy," said Naruto. "It's just a game to us. We're just looking to have some fun," supplied 17. The game puzzled Naruto before a smirk crossed his features. "Alright, I'll play. You guys go ahead and get started. I'll make sure to drop in later to have some fun. Sorry for all the trouble we've caused." They didn't understand what kind of game this was. He flew back towards the rest of the Z fighters, laughing up a storm. "Finally, a sensible one out of their group," commented 17. "You're just happy that you've found someone as juvenile as you are," retorted 18. "Don't think I didn't see you checking him out just now," he remarked. "Now let's go, I want to find a nice car to steal." The androids have made their intentions clear and the race to Goku is on. Can the Z fighters buy Goku enough time to recover? And what plans does Naruto have up his sleeve for 17's game? The mayhem begins next time on Ninja of the Case. After getting everyone healed up with beans, everyone regrouped at the side of Naruto's battle with 18. "So they just left talking about driving a car for fun or something," informed Naruto. "They just left without doing anything else. This doesn't make any sense. The androids of my time were ruthless. Their idea of a game was torturing and killing," muttered a baffled Trunks. "We already know that. The timelines have shifted, these aren't the same androids," growled Piccolo in frustration. "It's not just that, these androids are much stronger than the ones I fought. They were stronger than me, but not this much stronger," stated Trunks. "Maybe, it could be that Dr. Jiro's thought process was changed when making the androids this time," said Gohan. Trunks gave him a questioning glance. "What do you mean?" "Trunks, in your timeline my dad was already dead from the heart virus, so Dr. Jiro would have known about it and his goals would have changed. Revenge would have been useless, so he would have stopped working to make them stronger," explained Gohan. "So what you're saying is that in this timeline he focused on making them strong enough to beat Goku and never got around to making them insane killing machines," surmised Naruto. Gohan nodded. "Exactly, in the other timeline, he must have focused on turning them into killing machines to pursue his goal of taking over the world. That still doesn't change the fact that these androids are still very dangerous," reminded Piccolo. "No, but if we can prove ourselves superior they may back off," countered Naruto. "So what do we do now?" asked Tien. "We need to wait for Goku to recover before making our next big move," stated Trunks. "I will not depend on Kakarot," thought Vegeta as he clenched his fists in anger before flying off at high speed. Trunks turned to go after him, only to be stopped by Piccolo. "Let him go. His pride and abilities were just crushed. He needs to reevaluate things," advised Piccolo. "Hopefully, he'll learn from this. Fighting alone is one thing, but fighting only for yourself he'll become much stronger if he becomes less selfish," added Naruto. "That guy is just too stubborn though, I don't think he'll ever understand something like that," said Krillin. Gohan then spoke up. "We can't let the androids get to my father. Maybe we should move him somewhere else. You guys work on getting Goku back to full strength and keeping him away from the androids. I've got something to take care of. Don't follow me," declared Piccolo. "Care to enlighten the rest of us on your plan?" inquired Naruto. "No, I don't. This is something I have to do alone," he started before flying off. "What is he up to?" questioned Gohan. Krillin stared at the direction he was flying in before an idea popped into his head. Maybe, just maybe, he's going to reunite with Kami. "If he really thinks the situation is that desperate he might do it," answered Krillin. "What will that do?" asked Trunks. Kami and Piccolo used to be one being. Master Roshi once said if they had never separated he'd be the strongest there is, even stronger than a Super Saiyan. He'd be a Super Namek, proclaimed Krillin. A super thing again? Completely lame. Mocked Naruto. Let's get back in focus here guys. Where should we move Goku to? Questioned Trunks. Let's take him to Master Roshi's house. They wouldn't think to look for him there. It is far enough from Goku's house to buy us a lot of extra time. Suggested Krillin. Alright, let's split up. Gohan, Krillin, and Tien go and get Goku ready to move. Naruto, you and I can head to the Capsule Corporation to get my mom to lend us a ship to move Goku. Ordered Trunks. Good thinking. By moving him that way our powers can be suppressed so they won't be able to track us. Added Tien. Good, hopefully your mom will have some supplies. Said Naruto with an evil gleam in his eye. Supplies for what? Inquired Krillin. Don't want to ruin the surprise, but trust me it will be good. Let's go. He yelled as the 5 fighters flew off to their respective destinations. Much to 18's ire, 17 chose to hijack a pink delivery van. The androids were currently cruising down the highway at moderate speeds. Why of all things did you steal this van? If you wanted fun you should have picked a fast car. Complained 18. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. I already told you it's not about how fast we get there. Replied 17. Do you even know where Goku is? She asked. We'll try his house first. Relax, 16 at least knows how to do that. He replied. The large android was staring out the window with a smile on his face enjoying the scenic view. Whatever, wake me up when we get to the next town. She said while leaning her seat back. I want some new clothes. Vegeta stood on the edge of a cliff deep within the mountains and thought. The humiliation of his defeat at the hands of Android 17 hung over him, the battle replaying over and over in his mind. I don't understand. How could I have been beaten so easily? Like I was nothing. Ranted Vegeta clenching his fists in anger. The Super Saiyans of legend were unrivaled. I am their descendant, royal blood flows through my veins, how could I be defeated by mere machines? He stared up into the falling rain with lightning flashing and thunder echoing around him. The storm was seemingly a physical manifestation of the frustration and turmoil swirling inside his mind. Even the Kakabrit did better than I did and he transformed just then. I could feel his power fluctuating and at one point it reached even higher than mine. He thought. Could it be that I have not reached the plateau, but only the beginning of the Super Saiyan powers? Perhaps there are higher goals for me to reach and I have yet to obtain the true peak of my potential. He declared. Vegeta yelled with fury as he powered up and transformed into a Super Saiyan. I will ascend beyond my current limitations and obtain great power like there has never been seen before. And then I will destroy those androids and prove once and for all that I am the greatest warrior in the universe. Then I will show the rest of those fools, especially Kakarot and that other clown, who is truly the best. He proclaimed. Naruto and Trunks were having a conversation about their respective journeys to join up with the Z fighters when they sensed Vegeta's fluctuations in power. You feel that? Asked Naruto. Yeah, it was my father. What is he up to? Questioned Trunks. He lost, right. Must be pissed off and pounding the crap out of a training area. Well, that's what I would do. Replied Naruto. You lost too, why aren't you doing that right now? Stated Trunks with a raised eyebrow. I didn't lose. They left so it was a tie. Declared Naruto. Right, replied a smirking Trunks. So tell me more about the other world. Naruto continued from where he left off as the two sped through the air towards the Capsule Corporation. High in the sky upon the lookout Mr. Popo watered his plants as Kami sat in deep meditation. Their peaceful day was disrupted by the arrival of Piccolo as he stormed towards Kami. Piccolo, good to see you. Stated Kami. I can't say the same. You know what, I've come here for an old man. Replied Piccolo. Yes, you wish for us to fuse and become one being once again. However, I cannot acquiesce to your request at this time. Answered Kami. What is the hold up old man? Don't you understand what's going on down there? Yelled Piccolo in outrage. These androids are not the biggest threat out there. So far they have done no harm to this planet. They spared all of you in battle when you could have easily all been destroyed. Responded Kami. It's nothing but a sick game to them. Retorted Piccolo. I don't believe so. There is a much darker presence that is lurking in the shadows. It has been growing stronger for the past few years. I will make my decision when this new threat decides to show itself. Said Kami. Fine, I can wait. Let me know when you're ready. Grumbled Piccolo as he took a seat and began to meditate. A few days had passed since the skirmish with the androids. The group minus Piccolo, Vegeta and Naruto were now at Master Roshi's house waiting patiently for Goku to recover. Naruto had vanished and according to Bulma, he and her father had taken over the audio-video production sector of Capsule Corporation working on some project. Apparently her father kept ranting about finally giving some poor excuse for a scientist that's been coming to him for years. Krillin, Trunks, and Gohan currently sat outside discussing their predicament. I still don't get it. You guys are a lot stronger than in my time, but so are the androids. If you were at the levels you're at right now in my time we would have stood a great chance at winning. Said Trunks. When my dad wakes up we'll find a way. Stated Gohan confidently. I still can't believe you're a Super Saiyan Gohan. At your age too, you're shattering all the record books for strength. Said Krillin. Yeah, in my time you didn't become a Super Saiyan till much later. Added Trunks. I've always had explosive power, whenever I get really mad and just lose it my power increases, but I could never sustain it. I was just lucky my rage pushed me to that level. Even so, it still wasn't enough. Replied Gohan. I don't know about it not being enough. You had the best shots on that android all day, even better than Vegeta. Exclaimed Krillin. Still, I could feel it and Vegeta probably felt it too. We could still be stronger. We've been acting like Super Saiyan is the peak of Saiyan abilities. I feel like we can do better and still become stronger as Super Saiyans. Suggested Gohan. You're crazy, I mean Super Saiyan power is already mind-boggling, as it is, what could possibly be beyond it? Questioned Krillin. I don't know, but Gohan is right. We need to find a way to somehow surpass our current limitations, maybe we've only scratched the surface pondering Trunks. Well, I'm going to see how Goku's doing you coming. Asked Krillin as he stood up to walk back in. Sure, what about you Gohan? Asked Trunks as he moved to follow him inside. Nah, I'll stay out here for a while. He said as he stood before moving out to the water. He transformed into a Super Saiyan before going through various exercises. That kid, just like his dad. Muttered Krillin. As the two walked in they noticed everyone gathered around the TV. Bulma turned and gathered their attention. Hey guys come check this out. That's the capsule commercial set. It must be what they were working on. Exclaimed Bulma pointing at the television as the commercial began. The scene is of a guy, Kakashi, getting shut down by a girl at a bar, having a hard time closing the deal. Questioned the voice-over. Scene shifts to a guy Sasuke trying to repair a hole in his blow-up doll. Tired of settling for those lame blow-up dolls? Asked the voice again. Scene shifts to a guy, Jiraiya, grouping a woman and then getting the crap beat out of him. Is this the only type of action you're getting? Inquired the voice. Scene shifts again now to a guy, Orochimaru, disguising himself before entering a gay bar. Have an itch you don't want others to know needs scratching. Scene shifts to a bunch of women fleeing from a guy, Vegeta, after seeing his face. Have a face that only a mother could love. Then Dr. Gero appears on the screen in a red suit with a gold cane and a pink fedora hat. Hello my name is Dr. Ono Gero, the world's #1 expert in robotics, and do I have a solution for you? Gero's mechanical hose. Android 17 and 18 walk onto the screen placing an arm around each of Gero's shoulders. Real-life androids that respond and cater to your every fantasy no matter the gender or orientation. It's even better than doing it with a real person. I used to be a crazy old nerd with delusions of conquering the world. Now I'm the biggest pimp the world has seen since Don Juan. Call today. The scene shifts to Hercule Satan finishing a workout. Yo it's the champ Hercule Satan here. Being the world's toughest man I got a reputation to keep up, that's why when I really wanna cut loose, I call on my Model 17. He's everything a guy could ask for. Android 17 entered the room dressed in nothing but a man-thong and hugged Hercule. There's no need to be on the down low when you can call for a Gero's mechanical hoe. This company is a subdivision of Naruto Incorporated. Stated a voice as the commercial ended. Everyone in the room stared at each other in shock before erupting in laughter. Oh, man I know he's going to get us all killed, but that was just too funny. Gasped Yen between laughs. This is epic. Exclaimed Krillin as he rolled around the floor with laughter. Even Trunks was beside himself with laughter after picturing them as insane killers for so long. This is just too much. If the androids don't kill him Vegeta will. Roared Bulma. Hello? Hello? Is this Gero's mechanical hose? Everyone turned to see Master Roshi on the phone. Get me a Model 18 immediately. Hello? Hello? The room erupted in laughter once again. Upstairs Kai was puzzled by the roars of laughter. What is going on down there? Said Kai as she turned to see Goku laughing lightly in his sleep and chuckled. So you're in on it too, huh? At Capsule Corporation the two masterminds behind the commercial observed the fruits of their labor. Ah, the splendid job we did, don't you think? Declared Dr. Brief sipping a cup of coffee. Indeed. Replied Naruto taking a sip of his own cup. As they cruised down the highway through a city 17 noticed that the various cars passing them kept honking at them and giving them cheers of adoration. The people of this planet are all idiots. He muttered only to be interrupted by a phone ringing. He looked up to see a cell phone strapped to his visor. Where the hell did this phone come from? He asked. Who cares just throw it away. Said 18. I'll answer, it might be fun. Responded 17 as he placed it on speakerphone and answered the call. Hello? He spoke. Hello? Dude, is this Jiro's mechanical hose? Responded the voice on the other end. What? Exclaimed 17. Dude. I want an Android Model 17, but can you make him look less gay? It's a present for my sister. Said the caller. What the hell is going on here? Roared 17 as 18 snickered at him. You're right, it was fun. She mocked as he chucked the phone out the window. Obviously, it's a lame attempt by that guy to make this more interesting. He'll have to do better than a crank call. Stated 17 offhandedly. His sister rolled her eyes at him. You're just jealous you didn't think of it first. Suddenly an orange ball of cloth smacked against the windshield, unwrapping itself against it so they couldn't see. 17 slammed on the brakes, bringing the van to a complete halt. The trio looked up to an advertisement spread on the orange cloth like it was a banner. On it was a picture of Dr. Jiro's head with his mouth drooling and a nosebleed staring at the image of 17 posing in a man thong. Jiro's mechanical hose was displayed in large black print. 16 started chuckling at the sight of it while 18 roared with laughter. 17 merely stared upon the horrible sight in disbelief before his eyes narrowed. You win this round, funny man, but the next will be mine. He mumbled as he stepped outside the van to remove the orange monstrosity. He soon found that the van had somehow been painted orange and banners containing the same advertisement had been glued to the sides and back. Arg. He screamed in frustration, gaining the attention of several people on the street. Dude, you rock. Yelled a random guy passing by. Look mommy, it's the man on TV. Shouted a little girl who pointed at him from the sidewalk, then pointed up towards a giant screen on top of the building playing the commercial. How shameful. Shouted the mother as she covered the child's eyes and carried her away. 17 kicked the van in frustration. Come on, now I have to find myself a disguise. Said 17 as he sped away on foot. What a day this is turning out to be. 17 gets humiliated and I get new clothes. Guy really knows how to court a gal. Said 18 as she and 16 followed. Naruto smirked as his clones dispersed to relay back the information of 17's reaction. Hahaha. This is only the beginning. Thought Naruto. His future planning was interrupted by what he was hearing from Dr. Briefs on the phone. Well, I'll be. You're right, it is his vehicle. I could have sworn the boy took it with him. I wouldn't expect Trunks to leave something like that lying around. No worries, I'll send him out to pick it up. Said Dr. Briefs as he hung up the phone. What happened? Asked Naruto. Apparently one of our employees found Trunks' time machine in the wilderness near Ginger Town. He doesn't seem the type to leave stuff lying around. Stated Naruto. The odd thing is that it looks like it's been sitting there for some time. I'll call Bulma and have her let him know. He said as he picked up the phone again. Maybe it's another time traveler. Yeah right, like it would happen twice now, he's probably going to disguise himself. Thought Naruto as he returned to prank planning. Trunks. What were you thinking leaving your time machine in the middle of nowhere? You're in big trouble, mister. Screamed Bulma as she hung up the phone. Wah. 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 Wailed baby Trunks as if to say I didn't do anything. Not, you little guy, cooed Bulma as she rocked the baby to calm him down. The irresponsible teenager you became. She declared, leveling a glare at the older Trunks. Mom, it's right here, I swear. Pleaded Trunks as he pulled out the capsule containing his time machine. See right here. Wait, but then how is there one here? She puzzled, holding up a piece of paper. This is impossible. Maybe it's a different vehicle that just looks like it. He exclaimed while reading the paper. Whatever it is, we need to go check it out. Said Krillin, reading it from over his shoulder. You guys stay here and hold down the fort. I'll go with Trunks and Bulma to check it out. Offered Gohan. That sounds like a good plan. I'll go upstairs to relieve Kai Kai. Maybe playing with the baby for a little while will cheer her up. Said Krillin. A short time later, Gohan, Trunks and Bulma found themselves searching through the area the time machine looked like was spotted. It's around here somewhere, said Trunks as he searched through the foliage. Hey, I found it. Over here. Yelled Gohan. Trunks and Bulma followed the sound of his voice and came face to face with the time machine. Yeah, that's definitely it. Let's see. He said, pulling out a capsule, pressing the button and throwing it. The capsule revealed his own time machine in pristine condition. So this second one doesn't belong to you after all. Commented Bulma. No, it's the same, take a look at this. Trunks said, stepping up to the second machine and wiping away some dirt on the side to reveal the words and symbol for hope. In the future you put this on here before I leave to come back the first time. He said before pointing to the ship he just pulled out. It's in the same spot on the other one too. So how did this one get here? Bulma asked, puzzled by the situation. Someone or something used this machine to come to the past, and by the looks of it they did it a long time ago. said Gohan as he examined the interior of the vehicle, finding two eggshell-like objects. What is that? Asked Trunks, looking at the things in Gohan's hands. Let me see, said Bulma, taking the objects away from Gohan. It's definitely some type of egg, she said, looking them over. But what hatched from it? Whatever it is, it made that hole, replied Gohan, looking up at the roof of the vehicle. There's not a lot of energy left, commented Trunks as he pressed various buttons on the machine's console. How can this be? According to this, the ship arrived 4 years ago, 1 year before I arrived to warn you guys. So the timeline had already deviated before you even arrived. No wonder so many things have been different, said Gohan. You guys. What is that? It's disgusting, yelled Bulma as she pointed at what looked to be a giant creature a few yards behind the ship. Trunks walked over and touched the thing and looked to see slime on his finger. It's molten skin. Whatever came from the time machine shed its skin and left, stated Trunks. That still doesn't explain how it got on the ship or who sent it, said Gohan. It's out there now, not far from here, but we don't have time to deal with this, replied Trunks. Let's get out of here. Someone else can investigate more thoroughly, declared a creeped out Bulma. That's fine, Gohan said as Bulma opened a capsule revealing an airship and hopped inside. I'll meet you back at Rashi's, she said before taking off. The two fighters quickly followed. Piccolo was beginning to lose patience, waiting on Kami to make up his mind when suddenly the elder Namek stopped up with a look of horror. My goodness, this is far worse than I ever imagined. What happened? Is it the androids? Demanded Piccolo. No, the evil being has revealed itself and it must be stopped at all costs, stated Kami with a look of resolution on his face. What do you mean? Asked Piccolo. Don't worry, you will understand everything after we merge, replied Kami. Kami, no, pleaded Mr. Popo with tears in his eyes. So you've finally come to your senses, old man, said a smirking Piccolo. Yes, I believe in you, Piccolo. You will use this power to do what is right for this planet and its people. It is what must be done, Mr. Popo, stated Kami. Alright, but we're going to use my body, added Piccolo before they began. Agreed, now just place your hand on my chest, ordered Kami. Piccolo placed his hand on Kami's chest and Kami yelled as a bluish-white aura surrounded him. A few seconds later there was a bright burst of light and only the body of Piccolo remained looking down at his hands. Kami, yelled Mr. Popo as his old friend vanished. He now stared in awe at the presence of the being who now stood before him. Both Kami and Piccolo are now gone. The Namek who long ago sought to protect this planet as its guardian has returned, he declared as he blasted off the lookout. Naruto sat at a desk within Capsule Corporation's main laboratory, scribbling out ideas for his next move against 17. Dr. Brief sat on the other side of the room watching the television, waiting to aid in their next caper. Now, I could use that idiot from the TV again, Satan, or I could travel around and give him a peeping reputation like Erosenin.org. So many options to choose from. His thoughts were interrupted by the doc. How bizarre, gasped Dr. Briefs, staring at the television in disbelief. What's going on? Naruto asked him. Look at this report, it seems people are mysteriously vanishing in Ginger Town, replied Dr. Briefs, still not looking away from the screen. Naruto stood from his seat and walked over to view the television. A reporter was on the screen surrounded by empty piles of clothes. As you can see, nothing seems to be left of these people but their clothes. There seems to be no evidence to provide any sort of theory on what's happening here. The police have ordered people to. The sound of gunshots in the background startled the reporter. Oh no, what in the? The signal cut out, leaving a standby message. This is serious, I have to go check it out, stated Naruto as he slipped into his fighting gear. Do you think it's the androids? Questioned Dr. Briefs. Naruto shook his head. No way, doc, not their style. They would just blow everything up, not make people disappear. Where is Ginger Town? Dr. Briefs pointed it out to him on the map on the wall. Naruto concentrated for a moment before phasing out of view. As he appeared high above Ginger Town, Naruto sensed two energy signatures he couldn't identify. He kept his power level suppressed as he moved discreetly through the town to not alert them of his presence. If need be, I should prepare for an ambush, he thought to himself as he jumped over the rooftops. He suddenly halted his progress and dropped down to a discreet location behind an empty building. He peeked around the corner, witnessing Piccolo gripping his shriveled arm while facing down some giant humanoid insect creature. The thing was green with black spots and was wagging its tail behind it. What the hell is that thing? It must be responsible for whatever is going on around here, and it looks like Piccolo is next. I need to move fast, he thought, only to be stopped by a telepathic message from Piccolo. I'm trying to interrogate this thing, stay hidden until he gives us what we want. Then we make our move, ordered Piccolo. Alright, I'm moving into position, give a signal when you're ready, replied Naruto through the link as he prepared for a surprise attack. I may not be a match for you, but you won't stand a chance against the others. Declared Piccolo. You have no idea how powerful I really am. Vegeta. Goku. Gohan. Even together they are no match for me. Gloated the creature. If you're so confident, why don't you tell me who you really are? It's not like it will make a difference. Stated Piccolo. Fine, I will grant you this one final request. My name is Cell, I am an android. The single greatest creation of the brilliant Dr. Gero. In order to create the perfect warrior, Dr. Gero fused all the traits of the greatest fighters the world has ever seen into one being. He recognized that the task would not be completed in his lifetime and left the work to his supercomputer while he pursued other projects. Lifetime? Dr. Gero made himself into an android. Wait, that means he is not from this timeline. Thought Piccolo and Naruto. Cell continued, the computer soldiered on in his absence, working to integrate the cells of the greatest warriors. The ruthless Saiyan Nappa, the young and promising Gohan, Dr. Gero's greatest enemy Goku, the prideful Prince Vegeta, the tyrant Frieza, and even you Piccolo, all woven into my DNA. I see, that's how you knew the Kamehameha, you inherited it from Goku. It's also why I sensed so many different fighters from you. Concluded Piccolo. Yes, I have already obtained the best you have to offer. Replied Cell. Tell me this, how did you manage to gather our cells? I think we would have noticed any suspicious people. Inquired Piccolo. It's very simple, Dr. Gero has tiny tracking devices the size of a housefly. You never would have even noticed them had I not pointed it out to you. The devices record data and collect specimens for the supercomputer deep within the lab to use. Replied Cell. We need to examine that lab thoroughly and destroy everything, thought Piccolo. The thoughts of Naruto were a bit different, maybe if we go through his lab we can find something to use against them. If all this is true, then why are you here? How did you get here? Asked Piccolo. I suppose one more answer won't hurt. I cannot reach my full potential from the power of humans alone. I require a certain source of power, that of Android 17 and 18. After I finally developed this form, I discovered that Android 17 and 18 were somehow defeated by Trunks, preventing me from obtaining my ultimate form. Unfortunately for him, I discovered that he possessed a time capsule. I disposed of Trunks and regressed to my larval form to use the time capsule to return to this time a few years ago, where I was sure the androids still existed. I understand now. In his time, Trunks was returning to inform us that he defeated the androids. Cell hijacked his time machine and ended up here instead, polluting our timeline even more. I've answered enough questions for now. It was interesting meeting you Piccolo, pity you couldn't provide more of a challenge. Stated Cell. I'm not done yet. Yelled Piccolo as he ripped off his shriveled arm before roaring as he regenerated it. Cell smirked, ah yes, I see you were stalling for time and information. I should have known. With your friend so close the odds are no longer in my favor. Damn it. You guys have the worst timing. Yelled Piccolo as he sensed the incoming power signatures. He turned back to see that Cell had suppressed his power and vanished. Naruto emerged from his hiding spot perplexed. How the hell did he do that? 1 second he was there, the next gone, no trace of him. Said Naruto. I don't know, all I know is that our problems just became a lot bigger. Let's wait for the others to get here. Replied Piccolo. A few minutes later Gohan and Trunks arrived at their location along with Tien. What happened here? Asked Gohan. Yeah, we sensed all sorts of strange energy signatures. Added Tien. Hold on a minute, I'll explain when Vegeta gets here. Replied Piccolo. Seconds later the Saiyan Prince landed looking for answers. Namek. What happened here? Demanded Vegeta. With the group all gathered, Piccolo proceeded to report the information he obtained from Cell. So, what do we do now? Questioned Naruto. In the words of Shikamaru, this just became troublesome. I'll face the Cell eventually, but right now I have more important matters to attend to. Declared Vegeta. What are the androids? Asked Trunks. No, he's going to try to ascend. Replied Gohan. So the brat has figured it out as well, and I know Kakarot will do the same. Once I have ascended beyond a Super Saiyan, the androids and Cell will be nothing to me. Proclaimed Vegeta. Is that even possible? Questioned Tien. Of course, if it was futile he wouldn't even bother with it. Answered Naruto. Vegeta smirked in agreement. Fine, then I'm going to try and track down Cell, he'll be easier to find than the androids. Stated Piccolo. I had a clone tailing the androids earlier, they were taking their time trying to track down Goku. They were nowhere near here, so Cell should have his own troubles finding them. Commented Naruto. I'll help Piccolo track down the Cell. Decided Tien. I'm going to wait for my dad to wake up. When he's ready we'll meet back up with you guys. Stated Gohan. I'm going to Jiro's lab to see if I can find anything. If I do I will use my clones to transport the stuff back to Capsule Corporation. Between the Doc and Bulma they may be able to find a weakness in Cell or the androids we can exploit. After I've gotten all I can I'll destroy it. Declared Naruto. I'll go with you then, perhaps I can find answers to defeating the androids back in my own time, as well," said Trunks. They all nodded in affirmation of their respective plans before taking off to their respective destinations. Naruto and Trunks arrive at the entrance to Jiro's lab, finding it just as they left it before. The duo entered the main room with Naruto moving over towards the various monitors and equipment while Trunks looked through the pods containing the androids. "The rest of these pods are empty," he commented while looking into the ones that were unopened. "Yeah, he apparently destroyed all models besides the ones we've faced so far," commented Naruto. "There seems to be nothing of interest here, we need to find the entrance to the supercomputer that's building the cell," stated Trunks. Naruto looked around the room and spotted a panel sticking out on the center of the back wall. He walked over and lifted the panel to find a green button. After he pressed the button, the wall slid apart from the center, revealing a hidden elevator. "Nice find, this must take us down to the hidden lair," stated Trunks as they stepped inside. The elevator hummed, taking them down deep underground. It stopped and opened, revealing a short passageway that ended at a massive steel door. Trunks pried the door open and stepped inside. Naruto followed behind him, flipping a switch on the wall, turning on the lights. "This must be the housing for the master computer," stated Trunks looking at the giant monitor in front of him. "And this must be Cell," said Naruto stepping in front of a glass water tank containing a small green blob. "He's still in the early stages of development. Hard to believe that little thing contains the cells of the greatest fighters in the world." Naruto has moved over to the main console and lifted a set of plans off the main desk. "This is useless, plans for a self-heating pod. What the hell?" Trunks picked up another set of blueprints and gasped in shock. "I don't believe it." "What?" asked Naruto looking over his shoulder. "Plans for Android 17. Looks like we hit the motherlode." Trunks shook with excitement. "Yes, we have. Everything is right here. With these plans we might find a weakness to exploit." As Trunks scanned over the plans, a white square on the left wall caught Naruto's attention. As he moved closer to inspect it, he saw that the square was sticking out from the gray metallic wall. He pressed on the square and the left half of the wall rolled back behind the right, revealing a separate room. He walked in to come face to face with tons of monitors and machines. He soon recognized the room for what it was. If that was the mother lode, then this is a gold mine. It's a freaking android assembly factory. He started in awe. Trunks stood behind him, equally shocked. He must have been planning on building more androids once he perfected 17 and 18. Added Trunks. "The equipment and computers, everything you need to build an army is here," said Naruto. "We need to destroy this place," declared Trunks. "No. If the blueprints fail to provide a weak point, examining everything here will. Or maybe we could go in another direction," declared Naruto, thinking the last bit to himself. He formed a mass of clones and one started barking out orders on how to move the equipment. "What are they doing?" questioned Trunks. "Hauling all this stuff back to Capsule Corporation. Only your mom and the doc will be able to make any sense of all this stuff. With the blueprints and all this, we're guaranteed to find something. Let's go report the good news." He grabbed Trunks by the shoulder and vanished from the lab. Bulma nearly fell out of her chair in surprise as Naruto and Trunks suddenly appeared in front of her. "Don't do that," she scolded them. "Sorry, but we've got great news. We investigated Dr. Jiro's lab, found blueprints for the androids," declared Trunks. "What's that I have here?" "You found something in an incompetent fool's lab?" questioned Dr. Briefs, peeking his head through the door. "More than that, all his equipment he used for making them was there in pristine condition. I've got a bunch of clones working on hauling it all back here right now," replied Naruto. "I see, between the blueprints and the equipment maybe we can find a weakness," surmised Bulma. "That or maybe more," muttered Dr. Brief, scratching his chin. Naruto gave him a smirk, letting him know he was thinking the same thing. "So much for all you muscle heads, this time your brains will save the day," gloated Bulma. "Maybe, Mom, maybe," replied a hopeful Trunks. 17, what are you doing? "Let's go," yelled 18. As soon as she went shopping for new clothes, her brother disappeared. 16 hung out in the park in the center of town ever since they arrived. Now she finds him hiding out on a rooftop, disguising himself using a bandana to cover his face, some sunglasses, and a hat. "Hold on a sec, look over there." 17 pointed down to a small stand across the street. 18 looked down to see two Narutos wolfing down bowl after bowl after bowl of noodles. She was still confused. "It's him again, so what? Why are you hiding up here?" "I'm not hiding. I figured out how he pulled it off. You said he could make copies of himself, so he must have been using the copies to tail us this entire time. Those must be them. Just listen to them," said 17. 18 leaned over and focused on hearing the duo. "Ah, such great ramen. The boss would be pissed if he knew we were eating all this ramen instead of him," rambled the clone as he ordered another bowl. "It's ramen. The boss would commend us for providing him with the memory of such an outstanding consumption of the greatest food ever created," replied his partner. I hear that. Old man, 10 more bowls. The first one yelled out. Those things were there for hours eating and ranting about ramen. Ranted 17. So what? Questioned 18, not following. Now I have something against him. Come on sis, it's time to teach that punk a lesson. Declared 17. Okay, I think he's finally lost it. She thought the last bit to herself. Gohan stood on the edge of the water outside the Kame house throwing various punches and kicks at an invisible enemy while powered up in his Super Saiyan form. While guarding his father from a possible android assault, Gohan made the most of his time by trying to master his new powers. His mother had been too preoccupied with caring for Goku to bother him too much about it, even though she did faint after seeing him transformed. A few days had passed since the group last split up in Ginger Town. Piccolo and Tien had several close calls in almost tracking down Cell, but he managed to evade them at every turn. Every time they would arrive in the town or city he was attacking, he'd pull the vanishing act he used in Ginger Town. Gohan suddenly paused in his workout when he sensed something behind him. The young warrior turned and threw a punch on instinct, only to be met with the form of his father leaning backwards and dodging the blow. Man, that would have knocked me out for longer than that heart virus. Exclaimed Goku. Dad. Stated the young Super Saiyan in confusion before quickly realizing the significance of his father standing there. Dad, you're alright. The father and son embraced one another before Goku took a step back to get a better look at his Super Saiyan son. Yeah, I feel much better now, son. Thanks for holding down the fort while I was sick. I almost can't believe it. You're a Super Saiyan too. I knew you were strong, but this is off the charts. Gohan clenched his fists in frustration. I may be a Super Saiyan, but it still wasn't enough. The strength of these new androids is hard to comprehend. Goku scratched his chin as he replied, I know I could see what was going on through my dreams. Even, as strong as you are, these new androids didn't seem fazed by it. They're not the only problem. Stated Piccolo, making his presence known. Goku stared at the Namekian warrior in confusion for a few seconds before adopting a smirk. Is it still mostly Piccolo in there? Piccolo grunted in annoyance. Yeah, I gave that old man as little room as possible. I can tell, still your strength is incredible now. Exclaimed Goku. Piccolo shook his head in disagreement. It still may not be enough, especially with Cell on the loose. Since we haven't been able to track him down, he may already be too strong for us to handle with all those people he's been absorbing. We need a new plan. I know Naruto and Trunks have Bulma and Dr. Brief's working on finding a weakness to the androids, but we need another course of action. Stated Gohan. Goku nodded his head in agreement. I think you and Vegeta were also right in believing there is another level of Super Saiyan. We may not even have fully developed the Super Saiyan powers we already possess. The training to do something like that will take time that we don't have. Countered Piccolo. Maybe not, I have a plan. I'll explain it all after we gather Vegeta, Trunks, and Naruto too. He may not be a Saiyan, but during his training with King Kai, he seemed to be able to gain a lot of strength in a short amount of time. Said Goku. Gohan raised another question, what do we do for the time being? Shouldn't everybody be moved to a different location? After finding out you aren't at home, the androids will come here next. We'll split up. All the fighters should come to the lookout and everyone else should go to Capsule Corporation, replied Goku. I'm going to stay here, I have a pretty good idea of what you are planning. If the androids show up here I can stall them. Said Piccolo. How? Even with your new strength you couldn't fight them all at once? Questioned Gohan. Piccolo shook his head, not all at once, but I believe 17 can be convinced to fight one-on-one. If I win and destroy him, that also prevents Cell from becoming complete. Sounds good, if things get too bad Naruto or Dad can pull you out of there. Said Gohan. That won't be necessary, I've saved up a few things for this fight. Responded a smirking Piccolo. Good luck. Let's get going, Gohan. Said Goku. An hour later most of the group had settled at Capsule Corporation. Tien and Krillin opted to stay with Piccolo to keep things honest if the androids showed up on the island. Goku and Gohan had tracked down Trunks and were now searching through the east wing of the complex, looking for the real Naruto. They kept running into his clones, but not the real one. The clones were apparently busy and wouldn't dispel themselves to relay the message. He's around here somewhere. Haven't seen him since he stormed into this area after that bizarre news report last night, said Trunks. Flashback last night, Naruto walked out of the kitchen with a drink to rejoin Dr. Briefs and Trunks watching the news. He nearly dropped the cup in his hand when he saw the headline ramen contamination on the TV screen. Funico Incorporated, the world's most popular instant ramen manufacturer and supplier of the most successful ramen stand chain worldwide, suffered a massive setback today that could put a halt to production of the popular noodle dish for months. Our own Ami Takeshi has the story. Ami. The scene shifted to a dark-haired woman standing inside of a factory just in front of an assembly line. A man stood off to the right of her as she spoke into the microphone in her hand. Thanks Han. I am here on the scene at the main production center of Funico Incorporated, where the problem originated. Apparently at 11:17 this morning it was discovered that one of the ingredient mixers on the assembly line had been injecting cow manure into batches of noodles instead of the usual herbs and spices. They determined that the switch had occurred for over 24 hours without being discovered. It seems there was a switch up by the delivery company that supplies the factory. Here with me is the assembly line inspector, brought in to survey the damage to the system. Sir, what are your findings? The man standing beside her wore blue overalls and a strap-on mask with a red bandana covering his black hair. On his chest was a sticker that read, Inspector number 17. His piercing blue eyes showed glimpses of mirth and, as soon as he spoke, Naruto recognized him. 17. Thought the stunned blonde. The entire production line is contaminated. Frankly speaking, there is crap everywhere. Not only will the recently released products need to be pulled back, their entire production line will need to be replaced and cleansed. Estimation for this place to be up and running again is 6 months at the least. No one is going to be having their precious ramen for quite a while. The television suddenly exploded and Trunks and Dr. Briefs turned their attention to the fuming blonde. You dare compromise the virtues of ramen? Well then 17, you better be prepared, this means war. He quickly formed 5 clones and gave out orders, commence Operation Bear. One of the clones was a little stunned by the severity of the retaliation. Are you sure, boss? It seems a little harsh. The original Naruto exploded with rage. Nothing is too harsh when it comes to defending the integrity of ramen. Now get to work. Sir. Yes sir. Replied the clones as they scrambled off in fear. After I'm done perhaps we can turn that fool into a ramen maker. Mwahaha. He cackled with insane laughter as he stormed out of the room. I think he's lost it, stammered Trunks. Dr. Briefs didn't believe so. No, his heart is in the right place. I can only imagine what I would do if someone compromised the integrity of my cappuccinos. A dark look crossed his face and he quickly followed after Naruto. Flashback end. Suddenly one of the doors in front of them opened and out stepped a smug-looking Naruto. You guys can go ahead and initiate phase 3. He called out over his shoulder as the door closed behind him. If you thought being a mechanic was bad, wait till you see this. There you are. You know how hard it is to find you with your clones running all over the place, said Trunks in annoyance. Naruto ignored him, his attention caught by the sight of Goku. Hey. You're back. We're gonna go after the androids now? Not yet. I have a plan, but we need to go get Vegeta first, replied Goku. Where is he anyway? Questioned Gohan. I went to check up on him yesterday. He's been standing in the same spot for days just staring up into the sky, answered Trunks. Well, let's go get his lazy ass. What makes him think he gets to stand around and do nothing? Declared Naruto. Vegeta stood upon the rocks Trunks spoke of, still staring up into the sky lost in his thoughts. I know what needs to be done, ascension beyond the level of Super Saiyan, but how? It took everything I had and more to become a Super Saiyan. What will be the cost of obtaining the next level? The Super Saiyan of legend was destroyed by his own power, could I lose myself in it as well? His inner monologue was interrupted by the arrival of Gohan, Naruto, Goku, and Trunks. Vegeta growled in annoyance at their arrival. What do you fools want? I have much more pressing matters to attend to. Calm down. My dad's got a plan to help us all try to ascend to the next level, said Gohan. Vegeta snorted in disgust. I want nothing to do with the harebrained schemes of your circus clown of a father. I will find a way to ascend and defeat Cell and those androids on my own. Just hear him out, father, pleaded Trunks. I know what you're trying to do and there is a way to shorten the time issue. Let's all move up to the lookout first. I will finish explaining there, stated Goku. Fine, this better be good, grumbled Vegeta. Seconds later they all reappeared atop lookout, startling Mr. Popo, who was watering the flowers. Sorry about that, Mr. Popo, apologized to Goku. It's alright. It's nice to have some company up here, perhaps after this is all over we can find a new guardian, he replied with a smile. Goku nodded in agreement. Yeah, maybe we can get an Namekian who can make a new set of Dragon Balls as well. Get on with it, Kakarot. I don't have all day, demanded Vegeta. Goku waved his arms at him in a placating manner. Alright. There is a room up here at the lookout called the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. You can spend an entire year in there, while only a day passes outside. The only restrictions are that 2 people can enter at a time, and you can only spend 2 days in there for an entire lifetime. Why only 2 people? Asked Trunks. There's only enough accommodations inside for 2 people to stay there for an entire year, supplied Mr. Popo. What are the training conditions in this place? Asked Vegeta. They can be pretty harsh, the temperatures ranging from freezing cold to burning hot. The gravity also increases the further you go away from the entrance, answered Gakui. So we have 2 years to spend there? Questioned Naruto. No, we will only use 1. We should save the extra day for another time when we may need it," declared Goku. Naruto decided to decline the offer, then thanks, but no thanks. "Why?" asked Gohan. "I don't need any more training to take it up a notch. Right now I could take it to another level to try and beat Cell, but I will do it as a last resort," replied Naruto. Vegeta snorted in disbelief. "Yeah right, if you were really holding back that kind of power you would have used to wipe out the androids already. No one but a fool would hold back their power." Naruto leveled a stiff glare at the Saiyan Prince. "Then I guess I'm the biggest fool around. Especially since I cannot control this power, it could destroy me along with the rest of this planet in the process. The year I spend there would be useless, it wouldn't make a difference in my control." Trunks stepped in between them to cut off the argument. "Calm down you guys." Goku voiced his support for Naruto's decision. "Naruto is right, Vegeta. If there is too much risk involved with him using this power, it's best not to use it at all." "Whatever. Take me to this room, if anyone is going first it's going to be me," declared the prince. "That's fine with me. You and Trunks can go first, then Gohan and I will have our turn," stated Goku. "Right this way please," said Mr. Popo as he led Vegeta and Trunks to the chamber. "When you said you could take it up a notch, how much more power are we talking about?" Goku asked Naruto. The blonde shrugged in reply. "King Kai said my power fluctuates too wildly to get a good reading, but he claimed it was pretty intense." Piccolo leaned against the outside of the Kame house, spreading his senses outward searching for any disturbances. His eyes shot open as the android suddenly arrived on the scene landing in front of him. Krillin and Tien rushed outside to join him. "Is Goku hanging around here?" asked 18. "Yeah, and that blonde guy too, I've got just a small bone to pick with him," added 17. "You'll have to take it up with me and I'm not in the mood so get lost," retorted Piccolo. "He's telling the truth. Neither fighter is here," stated 16. "He still probably knows where they are. Just point us in the right direction," ordered 17. Piccolo pointed his hand off to the right. "Find that island over there? You and me. Do you really want to do this?" questioned 17, giving him a chance to back down. "I've been looking to blow off some steam, you're just the punching bag I've been looking for," replied Namek. "Someone needs to check out the black-headed mechanical hose back here." Master Roshi's voice rang out from inside the house. Everyone started snickering as 17's eyebrow began to twitch. "What was that?" roared the raven-haired android. "I said someone needs to check out the black-headed mechanical hose back here. Behind the refrigerator," he yelled out again. 18 shook her head at her brother's idiocy. "Let's get this over with." The three flew off towards the island Piccolo indicated. "You guys keep an eye out for more attacks from Cell," commanded Piccolo before following behind the androids. The group soon landed with Piccolo facing them down. "You can have this one, I'll take the next one," stated 18 as she sat on a nearby rock. "Fine with me," 17 said while rolling up his sleeves. "This is your last chance, cough up Goku and that idiot's location. Fat chance of that happening. Let's do this," declared Piccolo as he discarded his cape and turban. "If that's the way you want it, then fine," said 17. Piccolo eyed his two companions. "Just make sure they stay out of this." "Don't worry big guy, it's just you and me," replied 17. Roared Piccolo as he powered up momentarily shocking 17 with his output. Incredibly, his power is far beyond Dr. Jiro's calculations. "I also sense two powers, he is not alone," said 16. "There's no way," said 17 as he turned to 16. Piccolo capitalized on the opening by striking his face with a hard right hook. He followed up with a kick to the gut and an overhead smash that 17 blocked at the last second. "Your power is surprising, but you're still not good enough to beat me." 17 smashed through Piccolo's guard and hammered him with two punches to the chest, then he went for a kick that Piccolo recovered to block. The two then engaged in a furious exchange of punches and kicks with both only landing glancing blows. "He's actually managing to keep up with him," commented 18. The two fighters had drifted high into the air in their exchange with 17 suddenly backing off. "I'm impressed, you're not bad," complimented 17. "I'm more than that," roared the Namek as he charged the mechanical warrior. Piccolo's speed surprised 17, allowing Namek to land several of the furious blows he rained down upon him. A vicious kick to the neck sent 17 smashing in the ground face first. A smirking Piccolo hovered over him. "What's the matter? Need some new batteries?" gloated Piccolo. 17 rose to his feet dusting himself off. "Don't get too excited. You still have no chance of winning," stated 17 dismissively. The two fighters charged each other once again engaging in their furious combat. Thanks for watching my video, leave a like if you enjoyed my video and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. See you next time, till then sayonara.